released day before yesterday, there was a mention of fuel control switches of the engine of Air India flight that was moved from run to the cutoff position moments after the impact. And the initial report also mentioned the US Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, had issued an information bulletin in 2018 about the potential disengagement of the fuel control switch locking feature. Now DGCA has woken up and they have issued a directive on this FAA, US Federal Aviation Administration information bulletin of 2018. In fact, Niranjan is in the studio as well. Over to you.
Well, this is a very, very big update. Let me tell you that the DGCA has responded to Republic TV's questionnaire. DGCA has woken up after 7 long years, and this is in response to what Republic TV had asked them. This is exactly what we had broken on Saturday when the report came out. DGCA, what were you doing since 2018? The AAIB report, and Shravan is joining me live. Let me go across to him. Shravan, what was the question? What were the questions we asked to the DGCA? And finally, finally they've woken up after 7 years, after a tragedy that has killed 260 people. What were they doing? Shravan, what were they doing? In 2018, FAA asks them about, tells them about, the trip, the disengagement of the fuel switch, and they did nothing about it. They very coolly say that Air India, as part of the investigation, said that they had done nothing because it was not mandatory. They did it because, they didn't do it because it was just an advisory. What were your questions, Shravan? And what is the DGCA ended up doing this evening?
Well, in fact, there is more embarrassment lined up for the DGCA because first, they're responding to a 2018 directive that was issued by the FAA in the United States of America with regards to the fuel switch control system itself. Now, in this particular, what you see, the special airworthiness information bulletin that was issued on 17th of December 2018, they had clearly mentioned that the fuel control switch has a locking feature to prevent inadvertent operation that could result in unintended switch movement between the fuel supply and the fuel cutoff positions. Now, that is the reason why we are once again raising this question, because there is an attempt that has been made over the last 48 hours to simply say that, look here, since the switch cannot be automatically turned from run to cutoff or cutoff to run, because there are several safety checks in place, and that is the reason why this pilot error aspect was being brought in by many. But the reality is this, that there is another aspect to it, and the aspect is mentioned in this particular FAA directive back in 2018. In a short while from now, Republic TV is also going to put out more details that it is not limited to the FAA's advisory back in 2018, but there is much more to it. But I'm going to stick to the FAA directive because now the DGCA, this is the 14th July, today's directive that has been issued. Interestingly, this afternoon, around 12:30, 15 questions were basically sent to the DGCA, and the question that we had essentially asked was whether at all a similar sort of advisory was actually issued by the DGCA to the other airline operators to basically look into the fuel injection system, asking them to look into whether at all there can be certain adjustments that can be made, because this was an advisory that was issued, so that it was not mandatory upon the airline, the carriers. And remember, the DGCA till date had never issued any such directive. Today, they say that the Federal Aviation Administration has issued a special airworthiness information bulletin dated 17th December 2018. So they are clearly admitting to their own mistake. For the last several years, what was the DGCA really doing? Why exactly would they come up with a notice which was banking upon what the FAA had said back in 2018? And today they are asking, they are basically issuing a mandatory modification for aircraft engines documents registered in India based on the airworthiness directives issued by the state of design manufacturer. For other non-mandatory instructions, including service bulletins, service letters and other information, that it goes on. But clearly, it says that several operators internationally as well as domestic have initiated inspection on their aircraft fleet as per the SAIB dated 17 December 2018 in the view of above all, airline operators of the affected aircraft are hereby advised to complete the inspection required under the SAIB 17 December 2018, no later than 21st of July. So now they are giving time to the airline operators to look into it, that by the 21st of July you finish your inspection. Inspection plan and report are after accomplishment of inspection shall be submitted to this office. Imagine what we are talking about. Let me just simplify this, Niranjan. Point number one, the DGCA is finally waking up to the FAA's directive that was issued in the year 2018. In 2018, FAA had basically indicated that there is a possibility, a problem, an inadvertent operation that could result in unintended switch from run to cut off as far as the fuel injection system is concerned in the first place. There was no directive that was issued by the DGCA back in the year 2018 or thereafter. At least if you go simply by this particular directive of the DGCA, one can safely presume the fact that there was no communication earlier. They are now acknowledging the fact that this directive came in the year 2018, asking the airline operators to now follow that directive that was issued in 2018. And let me also tell you that Republic TV has much more up our sleeves right now with regards to more information about multiple advisories that have been issued by other countries too. So it is not limited to the United States of America, but there are other countries who have issued a similar directive. So the question that comes up, what was the DGCA doing all this while?